Well, hello. Today, look at the guy, get the snowman in. He's part of the act, you know. Today is Monday, March 18th, and we have some birthdays today. Today is Tina Tedder's birthday, Tedder. So, Tina, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tina. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. It's also Diane Smith. We all know how to spell Smith. So I'm sorry, Diane, I'm not spelling your last name. But it's still your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Diane. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. It's also Janet Geck. She told me how to pronounce it, but her spelling is G-U-E-C-K. So, Janet, thank you for letting me know how to pronounce your last name. So I didn't, because I would have never said Geck. She said G-E-K. I would have never guessed that. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Janet. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. It's also Sunlin, S-O-N-L-I-N. So Sonlin. It's your birthday nonetheless. I think I'm screwing up your name. I think I did last year too. I am so apologized. But it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Solin. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. Well, I hope all four of you have a great, great birthday. And good news, I found out who, I forgot who it was, whose grandma. She was 100 years old. Her name is Lulu. Lulu, happy 100th birthday. I know, in 3 days in a row. She says, oh my God, not everybody turns 100. So even if I'm saying it 3 days in a row, Lulu, congratulations on 100 years old. Very, very good. I have a busy day ahead of me today. Well, Alyssa texted me early this morning that she needed a ride home from school because David is working overtime today, and so he's not able to pick her up. And so I said, well, I'm really sorry because I have an eye doctor appointment today, right at the time I should be picking her up on the other side of town. So I told her, I said, no, I can't pick you up. And then she says, she says, okay, I'll just ask my dad. Well, when I texted her back, I said, your dad's working in Kalamazoo, which is a 3.5-hour drive away. I don't think he's picking you up. And her mom works till 4. And then Samantha, who's Jimmy's, I consider them they're married, his wife. She works in Port Huron, which is still another half hour away. So I said, well, let me ask Denise. And so she says, well, I would appreciate it. So I called Denise up, and she says, well, yeah, she'll pick her up. So Denise is going to pick her up. But Jim is going to bring me to my eye doctor's appointment. I always get my eyes dilated, and they don't do the reverse drops anymore, or at least this doctor doesn't. And I have a hard time seeing coming home. The doctor's office used to only be like 7-8 minutes from my house. And so I chanced coming home, driving with that for 7 or 8 minutes. I always put my big old, those, I call them old people sunglasses. Cataract sunglasses. I have them from when I had my cataract surgery, because I had cataract surgery on both eyes, which was one of the best things I ever did, because I couldn't, like when I would watch TMZ, how they always had the little side, I don't know if they still do because I don't watch TMZ anymore, but they used to have a little side panel telling you what was coming up. I could never read those. I couldn't see them. I couldn't see them at all. And when I got my cataracts taken out, and I was sitting there and I'm thinking, oh my God, I can read what story is coming next. I don't have to wait to have him tell me what's coming up. So it was that and my knee surgery, two surgeries that were really well worth it. They really were well worth the time and the effort and the money, everything about it, because it really did change my life. But so Jim's going to take me. So that's why he couldn't pick Alyssa up from school. But Christy anyway, my doctor's office moved, and they're by Christy's house, which is a half hour away. And my appointment, I don't know why I made it so late in the afternoon. Usually I make it earlier in the morning, but it's at 2:30 this afternoon. And so I'll be hitting rush hour traffic coming home. And so I'm thinking, no. So Jim's going to drop me off, and then he's going to go visit Christy, because Christy lives about 3 minutes from the new office. So he's going to go, and Christy works from home. So Jim will just watch TV while she's working. She gets off at 3, so she'll be able to visit with him after a little bit. He might even go pick up Sophia from school. Who knows? But so I got those plans, and then I want to show you a little clip of Jim and I at the theater yesterday. So here's a little clip of Jim and I. Well, here we are. Are you excited, Jim?
Oh, very.
Actually, we got really good parking.
Yep.
Probably paid more than we needed to, but it's like,
hey, $20.
It's right across the street. Not a big deal. We got pretty good seats. We're on the main floor. Would have been nice to have an aisle seat, but for Jim, not for me. But
No, I'm fine.
we figure this is about how the size and space that we're going to have on the airline, so we'll get a little practice run here.
What's that?
I said this is like what we think the plane seats are going to be like.
Well, hopefully a little more room.
I don't think so. I probably think a little less room. Jim was disappointed in the seats. I kind of liked the seats at first. I really thought we had some pretty good seats. We were in the last row on the main floor, which still sounds bad, but it was the 26th row. I guess that's, when you say it, it sounds bad. But I don't like to be too close, and I don't feel that I was too far, because you could see the people, you could make out their faces and see who they really were. And so I did like our seats until... And then there was nobody sitting behind me, which I liked too. And it seemed like I had a little bit more leg room. And when we sat down, I told Jim, I said, well, geez, I only hope the plane has this much room. And he goes, oh my gosh, I was hoping the plane had more room. And I said, well, I'm thinking the plane's going to have less room. I was just thinking, wishful thinking that this is how much room we're going to have. And he said, well, I hope not. But anyway, so then the couple that came in, it was a mother and daughter, came in to watch the play. And they sat in front of us. And the mother was tall, like me, and the daughter was short. And I wanted to change seats with Jim because I felt, he sits a little taller in the seat than I do. But I thought, no, this is his first play. He's never been to a play. I want to make sure that he sees the play. And I thought, I'll just lean to the right. Well, every time I leaned to the right, she'd lean to the right. And when I leaned to the left, she'd lean to the left. So it was difficult seeing the stage with her big old head. But, it's not her fault. It really wasn't her fault. And I had a really nice guy next to me. It's so different. I haven't been to the theater, I couldn't tell you, since, well before the pandemic. And oh my goodness, how things have changed. Really, I didn't get dressed up, but I got, dressed up to go to the theater. There were people like with tennis shoes. I know they don't call them tennis shoes anymore. Athletic shoes and jeans and just T-shirts. And the guy next to me was chomping on potato chips. I mean, he was a nice enough guy, but you kept hearing his hand go into the bag, and all the people around us, and you can eat and drink at your seats. It was distracting, I found. It wasn't like the theater experience that I've had in the past, although I had a good time. I mean, I don't want it to sound like I didn't have a good time. I did have a good time. And then it was, when I looked at the tickets, I looked at them wrong, and I thought the play started at 1:15. So I told Jim, I said, well, it's at least a half hour, if not 40-minute drive down to downtown Detroit where we're got to go. And then we got to park. I don't know how far away we're going to have to park, so we're going to have to walk, and then we have to get to our seats and that. So I think we should probably leave about 11:45, and that'll give us plenty of time. So Jim said, okay. So then at the last minute, he says, why don't we leave at 11:30, because I want to go to the bank to get some money for the parking, and then I want to get my car washed, or truck washed. And so I said, okay. So we left at 11:30. And we could have parked in the building where the Fisher Theater actually is. I think the price of the tickets the price for parking was $15. But it was in a parking garage, which I don't feel very safe in a parking garage. I don't know. Especially at my age, I just don't feel safe. And I know that there's lots of people in there and blah, blah, blah. But then you got to take the elevator, and then you got to get packed on an elevator with everybody. And no, it just wasn't my cup of tea. So there was a parking lot right across the street from the theater. It was $20, and you don't get blocked in. So I said to Jim, let's just pay the extra $5. So we did that. So we parked, and then we got there, and I said, well, let me use the restroom before, we go to the play, because I don't know how long it is before intermission. And then you get stuck with it, standing in line. And so, I used the restroom, and we come back up, and we found our seats. And I said, oh my gosh, we still got another 20 minutes before the play even starts. I said, do you want to just go stand in the back? Because we're probably going to be sitting here for a couple hours. He said, no, we're here. Let's just stay. Well, thankfully we did, because the play actually started at 1 o'clock, not 1:15. Well, they wouldn't have let us in, because once the play started, they stopped they closed the doors until like between scenes. You're not allowed to come in unless it's between scenes. So, but it was good. I really liked it. I liked the play. But what I didn't like, I liked the movie better. First of all, I like the book better. If I had to tell you which order to watch it, I like the book first, because I always find a book goes into more detail. I really like the book. And then from the book, I would say the movie was my next choice. I like Gregory Peck. I like the actors that were in it. Robert Duvall, it was his first acting experience. Everything about the movie I liked. the play, I liked the play, which I found distracting, was the play is kind of written from the standpoint of Jim and Scout and Dill as adults recalling that summer, which is kind of like the book. They were recalling the summer, but the movie showed them as children. Alan Sorkin is the one that did the stage play. And so I found it distracting that when Richard Thomas, who is Atticus Finch, was talking to Jeb and Scout and Dill, because they're adults playing the role, they were like tall as him or taller. So it kind of, in my mind, kind of distracted me thinking, okay, he's talking to Scout, but Scout is the same, like nose to nose, they're the same height. And then he's talking to Jeb, and Jeb is like taller than him. So, I found it a little distracting that way. And I understood how they were doing it because I'm not really a big fan of narration things, and I understand with plays it's somewhat got to be narrated, but there was a lot of narration going on. And but all in all, I liked the play. I don't want it to sound like I didn't like the play, because I did enjoy myself. I had a really good time. Jim slept through a lot of it, and then every time I looked at him sleeping, I'm thinking, I can't see. I left you have the better seat so that you could see the play, and then you're sleeping through the play. So when we were coming back for intermission, it was 2 hours before there was an intermission. The play started right at 1 o'clock, and the intermission was at like 3:15. So like 2 hours and 15 minutes. And it was only a 15-minute intermission. And Jim had to use the bathroom. So I was just standing there. I became the official picture taker, because there was like a big, like a sign of To Kill a Mockingbird, and families were like taking turns snapping their pictures, and I'd always walk over there and say, would you like me to take a whole family group picture? And they'd look at me and they'd think, you know what, if she took my phone, I could outrun her. So they let me take her picture. So I was an official photographer. But let me get something. When Jim got back from the restroom, he had bought me a gift, and I didn't expect it. I really didn't, because the seats were expensive anyhow. But he got me this bag. I don't know how much he paid for it. And then he got me a pin of a mockingbird. I don't know if you can see that. And he got me a T-shirt, which I just absolutely positively love. And he got the right size, which is even better. But, so I was very surprised. So all in all, it was a very good night. It really was a good day, actually. And then from there, when we left, that was another thing when we were taking Waze when we were going. I got to readjust here. I had to get a little more comfortable, because we're going to talk here for a minute. When we were going, Jim put them into his navigation system, and I had remembered from when we went to see Barb the day before that the M10, which is what his thing was telling us to take, was closed. And so I told him, I said, I think M10 is closed. And he says, I don't think so. Why is it telling me that? And I put it into my Waze, and it said no, to get off at the exit before it. So when we were coming closer, I said to Jim, I said, let's just get off at my exit. And so he said, okay. So as we were getting off, he saw the sign that said that M10 was closed. So we would have had to gone past it. We would have got lost. I know that his would have readjusted and all that, but my way was so much easier, because we got off the expressway, we turned right, we went down 3 blocks, we turned left, we went 1 block, turned right, and we were there. So it was quick and easy to get back. So when we were leaving, we used the Waze to get back to the expressway, which was really boom, 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 we were on the expressway. And then we saw, which I think is a clown car, a true definition of a clown car. You can't really tell too much, but here's a little clip to show you the little clown car next to us. In my opinion, that's a clown car. That little tiny car is a clown car. It was really small. It just looked like it would get crushed in an accident. It just didn't look the least bit safe at all. So we saw that, and then when we got within 15 minutes of the restaurant, because we went to Texas Roadhouse, and by this time it's 4:30, and so I thought, at 4:30, I don't even know that we have to put our name on a wait list, but I thought I'm going to do it just in case. There was a 25-minute wait at 4:30 in the afternoon. Now, I know it was St. Patrick's Day, but Texas Roadhouse is not a Irish bar. We have some Irish bars around us, which were jumping. There was no parade by us. That was another good thing. And there were no Irish bars by us, and that was another good thing. But so I put our name in, and then Jim dropped me at the door, And there's on the thing, it tells you when you're here, when your whole party is there to click here. And so I put here, and I walked in, and right then my phone binged, and they took me right to my seat. So we had an excellent server. She was very good. It's just, everything about it was really good. It was perfect. It was like the best day. And then we come out, and it was snowing to beat the band. Let me tell you, I couldn't believe how hard it was. And it wasn't even snow. I have a little clip here. Let me show you. It's not even going to do it justice, but I'm going to show you this little clip.
Can't tell if it's sleet or snow or rain or what.
The snow was coming down. It wasn't snow. It wasn't sleet. It wasn't hail. And it wasn't rain. It was a combination of all of that, and it was pelting you like hail would. But it wasn't like hail stones. It almost looked like little granules of like soap. It's kind of hard to describe. And that picture really doesn't do it that much justice. But it came down so hard, and we were like following the storm because it was like just ahead of us. And so like we were driving, and it was just staying right in front of us until we got home. But it was the weirdest thing. I've never seen it. It was like the beginnings of hail, but not hail yet. It was just like, and I'm sure everybody knows what hail is. I think hail is all around. I don't know, maybe in the South they don't get hail. Do you get hail? I would think you get hail in the South, because I think sometimes you get snow. But they were really tiny, tiny, tiny little granules, like granules of sand type of thing. But it was the strangest thing. But then today in my mail at my home address, because this particular person has my home address, I got a Easter card. It says, "For my friend, God knew that spring would bring a smile to our hearts, and more importantly, that a Savior would bring hope to all our world. Thanking him for the beauty of spring, the joy and hope of Jesus, and the blessing you are to me. Happy Easter. I so look forward to your daily vlog, Cindy Musell." Thank you, Cindy. That was so nice. It was such a surprise too. It was so nice. I really like seeing it. But so anyway, I have to get moving here, and I am going out to dinner tonight. I know 2 days in a row, and I know I said I wasn't going to go out for Lent, but this is a family dinner. This is sibling dinner. It's my birthday dinner from September. With everything going on, we've never got together for our birthdays. Denise's birthday's next week. We still got to do Michael's birthday, so Denise is getting pushed back. She's getting kicked to the curb, because even she called me today, and she said, "Why did you get to pick the restaurant? You know, my birthday's next week." And I go, "My birthday was in September, and you guys did not pay for my birthday dinner, so you are paying for my birthday dinner tonight." And she says, "Oh," and I says, "You might get yours in a couple of weeks." She says, "Well, yeah." I said, "Because Michael comes before you." So she says, "Oh, that's right." But Mary's doing well. She's got an appointment with the liver specialist on Wednesday. Denise is going to take her. And Barb had her surgery yesterday. I talked to her this morning, and she's sounded pretty good. I don't know when she's coming home, but I guess the surgery went well. So thank you for your prayers. I really appreciate them, and so do they. And Diana Antu is hopefully coming home soon. I got a text from her the other day. She's walking really well, and she's walking with a walker still. And it just started as an ear infection. So it just, man, don't take things for granted. Like sometimes you have heart problems, man, it's something with your teeth. Always believe in the signs. Believe in the signs, because it can lead to something a little bit more disastrous if you ignore them. And don't think something as simple as a toothache or an earache or anything like that is just something to just shake a stick at, not to ignore. Please don't ignore it. Take your time and figure out what you need to do to keep yourself healthy. So, okay, I'm going to buy some new glasses. I know, Sandy, you don't have enough glasses. But I'm going to remember to get the ones without the glare, because these I have without the glare. And these are the ones I got last year, and they have glare. You can see it flashes everything. So this is the more current prescription, so I see better out of these glasses. But I wanted to do it on these so you didn't have the glare. But these are the ones I'm going to wear to the eye doctor. And then I'm drinking my water, my second bottle. So I've got my water coming in. I had my breakfast. I had a hard-boiled egg. I had an ounce of cheese, and I had a banana, because I know I'm going out to eat tonight. And yesterday, my only meal was the meal we had at the restaurant, and I had a half of a baked potato, just a half of a quarter slab of ribs. I know ribs aren't like the smartest choice, but it's what I wanted. And then I had a salad with some Thousand Island dressing. So it was a good night. It really was a good day, the whole day. And then tonight I'm going to watch the Oprah special just to see what she has to say about weight loss and stuff like that. I know Weight Watchers stock is tanking since she left. I thought that when she's joined, that's what the beginning of the downfall, in my own opinion, of Weight Watchers. And then, but I like staying on the program. I like the program. So, and then I ordered Recipe with Roy's cookbook. It's supposed to come today. So I will show you that. I'll do a review on it. You don't need to have a review, but I'll give you a review because I want to support Roy and his channel, and I like his recipes. I've used many of them, and Jim likes his recipes, and Jim likes your recipes, and you're doing good. And Dish with Dee needs to get out a recipe book because she's got a lot of good recipes. So Dee, if you're watching, get that video out because I'd buy your cookbook. I know I would. So, okay, let's talk again tomorrow. How does that sound? Hopefully I'll see you then.